Hello, my name is Deborah Sweeney and I'm joined today by Sandrijn from Capametrix. We're going to be chatting about the Capametrix Readiness Assessment, which really came off the back after the launch of Copilot for Microsoft 365, which was actually just over a year ago. And what it really reflected to us was that we needed to find a tool, a resource to help all of our partner community assess their customers' readiness for Copilot for M365. We found that there was a lot of gaps in knowledge and capability around that readiness piece. So, engaging with Sandrijn and his team from Capametrix, we worked with them to develop the assessments that we use today to help our partners. And we're funneling a lot of these assessments through our select partner community, who are our top partners for having all the skills and capability to deliver successful outcomes for Copilot for M365. So they go through all of the security readiness, data readiness, compliance readiness, and these assessments are fundamental to ensuring that our partners have that success. So hi Sandrijn.
Hello.
How are you?
Thank you very much for inviting me. Yeah, I'm really pleased to be here. Fantastic. Yeah, so firstly, loving being part of the program.
Brilliant.
I think the select partners are so lucky to have you and your team be so proactive and provide value from the top right the way through. And yeah, really interested in sort of having a chat and explaining what we do and how we can support.
Brilliant. So we started working with you back last November, so it's been practically a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it was quite a learning curve for all of us to get ready for Copilot for M365, because obviously there are many Copilots, but this is focused on the Microsoft 365 Copilot, as Microsoft call it now. And we wanted to get an assessment in place that would help with our partners, to get their customers ready for Copilot. We've been through 2 iterations of this now, following that learning path.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and now we've got a assessment that's really excellent when it comes to getting ready. Yeah, it totally is. So, you know, working with your team, it's been fantastic. And we also then work with you to engage the partners directly. I mean, do you want to talk us through how you actually work with the partners?
Absolutely. So, both teams are very well connected. So we work with the TD SYNNEX BDMs and account managers. We engage with individual partners, and everyone's different. So from a simplistic perspective, we map into the select partner program, and we're a call to action. So if you dumb it down to the most simple component, a partner, either from a sales perspective or from a marketing perspective, can utilize the Copilot assessment to engage with their customers to provide a consultative conversation and an output, which is a report.
Yeah.
And if they just want to do a single engagement with a single responder, that's perfectly fine. The system takes 3-4 minutes to complete with a customer. They can either do it via phone, a Teams call, via email. They could do it at an event or a webinar, or they can be more consultative and have multiple people from an end organization complete the assessment. They'll each get their own individual report, but then we can consolidate all those responses and create a consensus view.
That's brilliant.
It's highly impactful. So when we engage with the partner, we explain that, we demo the solution, we then make a fair degree of pains to ensure that it is branded and co-branded for the reseller themselves or the partner in whatever guise they are. And that includes training, working with marketing, working with sales, ensuring it's operationalized for them as well. So they can have different tracking links for marketing. They can have tracking links for each individual salesperson. Doesn't matter whether you've got 1 salesperson or 1,000. Each can have their own so that they can share it with their customers. And so you can track where things are coming from, measure, monitor, and report.
Yeah.
And so our aim is, and we only have 1 KPI, and that's from a TD SYNNEX perspective and a Capametrix perspective, and that KPI is return on investment. So are the customers generating reports for the partners, and are those partners able to close business off the back of those engagements and make money, right? Which is what everyone's trying to do. And it's a value-based proposition. So the end customer is going to identify the problems and issues and operational weaknesses that they have, and then we provide recommendations, best practice recommendations that the partner can augment to provide value to that end customer using Copilot to maximum benefit.
Yeah, and those unique links that you provide, either each salesperson or each marketing person, from a sales perspective, that's fantastic because it's a unique assessment to that salesperson.
It is, yeah.
They'll get the reporting on that, but it also helps a salesperson have the conversation around Copilot without actually needing to be a specialist in it as well. Because they can work through those questions with the customer, or they can use it at scale if they've got a group of people they want to target. And the fact that you can collate those reports for a single customer, lots of people filling in the assessment, and then collate that feedback. The report at the end of it gives the salesperson everything they need to go and have a really good conversation with that prospect and then move it on to the next phase. So it's absolutely fantastic. And from a marketing perspective, that tracking is awesome.
It certainly helps.
It certainly does, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we had a call with a select partner on Monday, and they were a perfect example. They understand the process, and they're now trying to optimize. So if you think about true best practice, and we want every salesperson and every marketing vector to have their own link. So you can measure where things are going, and you can also identify where the reports should be delivered. But this partner also is integrating into marketing automation. So they've got that next level of engagement. Every salesperson has their own link, but they are trying to do that consensus view. So for an end user, they'll say, Mary, understand you're looking at Copilot. Take 3-4 minutes on a Teams call or via email to review your current position. Mary at customer A responds, and then the salesperson goes back to Mary and says, thanks for spending 4 minutes. Here is your report. But if there are other people in customer X who are interested in looking at Copilot, they can respond to the link as well. And then they build that consensus. But after you've done that and you've engaged consultatively, that partner now has, let's say, 50, 60 assessment completed across a multitude of different customers. We can then take that anonymized data, put it into Copilot, ask Copilot to support the creation of content, so maybe LinkedIn posts or a white paper or a thought leadership piece that we can help and support with, from a TD SYNNEX perspective, an expert perspective, and a Capametrix perspective, to create thought leadership that partner can then go out, and the whole thing becomes cyclic. So they are creating thought leadership, which means that more organizations are going to come to them. They start buying additional solutions around Copilot to augment it, and it's a win-win for everyone in the program.
Absolutely. It is fantastic. And it really empowers that sales conversation, certainly with the decision makers.
Absolutely right.
And then off the back of creating the M365 Copilot Readiness Assessment, we've gone on then to work with you to create a deeper dive technical zero trust assessment as well, because that's kind of the next stage in the journey. You've convinced, hopefully, the decision makers. Now we need to get into the nitty gritty. So that next phase is a zero trust assessment.
100%. So the market tells us, cumulatively as partners, that people are buying Copilot. They see the value. It's growing in its functionality and feature set, but the limitation is around security, and zero trust is that kind of base layer. And so what we did cumulatively is we went out, spoke to the experts, got the TD SYNNEX security team and experts from the Microsoft perspective to pull together this zero trust audit. So when an organization says, yeah, I'm interested in Copilot or M365 in general, but I need to get my ducks in a row from a security perspective, this gives you a leapfrog to get to that point where you can accelerate them through. Yeah. So it's identifying the pain points, it's identifying the operational weaknesses that could cause an issue when you start Copilot interrogating your data. And once again, that's an invaluable aspect for a partner to prevent the loss of sale and to qualify in as well as qualify out customers, which increases the return on investment.
Absolutely. So, and we're seeing with our select partner community who have really embraced these assessments, they're opening up doors using these assessments.
That's the aim, right? Yeah. I also think you're right. I was on a call probably last week, where one of the select partners has a significant influx of new salespeople. Well, they're not experts. So in this instance, they can actually use the assessment as a call script. So they go through it on a call or on a Teams call, and they take the customer through, and they can say, okay, I need more information on that. Click on the information icon, and it will actually expand out and explain that structured statement, and that builds confidence. And really, that's what we need to do for all salespeople, right? To enable them to have that conversation in a confident manner, but also in a trusted manner as well. You don't want someone going off-piste and describing something that isn't true, because it doesn't do everything today. But that program and Copilot as a product is gaining features on a regular basis, which is probably why we're on a version 2, and we will be on a version 3 and a 4,
no doubt,
etc. Yeah.
Yeah, and we work so closely with you. You guys have been awesome working with us. We've introduced you to the select partners, and you and Becky. Just a quick call out to Becky because she's
great.
Awesome. So you guys engage directly with the partners as well, which helps them utilize the assessments better. You can also work with them to develop their unique URLs. Yeah, it's just great to have you guys working with us.
Thank you very much. We try to be as mutualistic as possible. So we see ourselves as part of this partner program, and you're a customer, but the partner's a customer, the salesperson's a customer, the marketing person is a customer, and we are providing that layer, answering questions, supporting. We can be as engaged or as hands-off as required. Some partners want us to interrogate their information. They want us to help them with branding, changing, adapting, creating links. Even I've had a couple who've wanted us to talk through the reports with customers. We're more than happy to do that. There's no limitation. But we wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for TD SYNNEX. So we're part of this overarching program, and every single value point that you bring, which starts with you and your team. You mentioned Becky. We're very lucky to have Becky, but everyone in your team does exactly the same job, right? They really care about that engagement. And so one of the things that I really like, and we were talking about earlier, is after every meeting, we have a digest report, so that whatever the partner contacts have agreed to, it's written down. Whatever we've agreed to, it's written down. Whatever the TD SYNNEX team have agreed to is written down. So we all have that single source of truth. So if after the meeting, I say, Debs, you promised me X, and you don't think that's the case, you can bring it up and we can agree it. So what that does is it expedites everything. It simplifies everything. It means that we're delivering what the partner really needs at that point, quickly and effectively, to enable sales and to enable marketing.
Absolutely. It's a true partnership that we have, and the engagement is together, and the partners that are actually engaged in the process are reporting back that it's been phenomenal. So really appreciate all your support.
No, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and your team. So thank you very much.
Yep. Well, it's important to us to make sure that we continue to develop our select partners, and we are also looking for the next tranche of select partners to join the program and engage with Sandrijn and his team as well. So if you're keen to find out more about that, or find out about working with Sandrijn and looking at these assessments, reach out to our team at csp.uk at tdsynnex.com, and we'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. Thank you very much.